And good evening, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET, and we've got some breaking news, and this might be the biggest breaking news that I've put out since I've started the channel. Phenomenal work by Beatrice Villarol. She's managed to do the research, get the paperwork peer reviewed. It has been reviewed, it has been published, folks. She's managed to prove that there were large, at least large, reflective, potentially flat objects in space before we even step foot outside of this planet, folks. This is amazing stuff. We need to find out more about it. As always, like and subscribe to the channel. We need your support. Support the public's evidence. Support astronomy. Support disclosure. This is it, folks. Let's get into it. Okay, we are on to X and Skywatch Signal. He's been at it again, and this one's a big one. Ross Coulthard just interviewed Dr. Beatrice Villarol, and it might be the most important UAP interview ever. I have to agree with you, buddy. This is pretty big stuff. Ross Coulthard caught up with astrophysicist Dr. Beatrice Villarol, and this news is historic. Her news papers were both peer-reviewed and published. The papers suggest that artificial reflective objects were geostationary Earth orbit in the 1950s, before humanity launched anything into space. Villarol and her team analysed nearly 300,000 photographic plates from the Palomar Sky Survey, exposures taken between 1948 and 1958. Before the 50s, folks. On those plates, they found aligned sequences of transient points, perfectly straight, repeating, reflective flashes that can't be explained by meteors, cosmic rays, or instrument errors, guys. This is amazing. And she's looked at over 300,000 photographic plates. That's a lot of evidence, guys. That's a lot of evidence. No wonder why this got peer reviewed. No wonder why it's been published, because it's pretty undeniable. There was something in space, guys, before Sputnik managed to launch anything, before humanity managed to litter our atmosphere with rubble. There was something up there observed by an observatory here on Earth that we cannot explain. This means that the objects were possibly flat, highly reflective surfaces orbiting 42,000 kilometers above Earth long before Sputnik. Ross Coulthard has pressed Beatrice on this, and he says, look, if they're artificial, someone built them. Beatrice's response is quite simply, it's not ours. It's not ours, guys. It's as simple as that. Whatever was up there, it wasn't ours. Beatrice is talking about pre-Sputnik geostationary artificial reflective objects confirmed through peer review in Nature's scientific reports and publications of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific. Beatrice is talking about pre-Sputnik geostationary artificial reflective objects confirmed through peer review in Nature's specific reports and publications of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific, folks. Very official. It's gone all the way down. All the ticks have been ticked. It's now publicised. This is legit. She leaves one caveat for optical ghosting, but her control checks data argue otherwise. So she's tried to find, this might be something else, this might be something else. Her results just don't show that, folks. They just don't show that. If confirmed, this marks the first legitimate scientific evidence of non-human intelligence artifacts in Earth's orbit. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for anyone who needs science and peer-reviewed papers to establish whether they can agree or disagree, okay? For a lot of people, they would have had personal experiences, they would have got their own recordings, they've seen recordings, they've seen enough to know what these things look like, they've trained their eyes, etc, etc. For the rest of the world that are just being told, who don't want to do the research, who simply just need someone with a scientific brain to go, there's the stamp, that's legit, this is it, this is it. And I hope it actually encourages more people to film the skies, to take up astronomy and to look at the stars, because I firmly believe we are actually surrounded by life teeming everywhere. absolutely everywhere. We just got to be able to see it and perceive it properly. Okay, let's move on. Non-human probes, a surveillance network like one theorised by Patrick Jackson, a sentinel array monitoring Earth for unknown reasons. To be clear, she isn't claiming either, but she's leaving the door wide open. Fact of the matter is, we weren't alone, guys. There was something in space during the time where we had put nothing up there, and therefore everything is on the table. Everything from creation to the fact they might have just been here out of curiosity. They could have been watching us the whole time. Could be prepping us for a moment like this. Who knows? I'm going to touch on something else at the end of this video, which is very, very coincidental regarding the king. So keep watching. When Ross asked if she hoped this discovery might unify humanity, she didn't hesitate. We need to stop fighting each other. We were never alone. The stigma is fading on this topic majorly. And truth is coming out from all different directions. It's exciting times, but these are serious times as well, guys. We have to change as a planet because change is coming for us, I believe. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. And before we leave, I do have 2 videos to show you. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth before we do anything. We're going to listen to Ross Coulthard and Beatrice Villarroel regarding these new peer-reviewed papers. This is exciting stuff. Check it out.
First off, Dr. Beatrice Villarroel. You may recall a few weeks back, Beatrice came on Reality Check and told us about the work that she's been doing on these so-called transient objects in geostationary Earth orbit, which she, in a couple of new papers, suggested were in fact artificial, reflective, constructed objects. It was and remains a momentous paper. And the reason we're bringing Beatrice back today is because there's been a new development. Beatrice, welcome to Reality
Hello.
Check. What's happening? What's the news?
Well, there are actually some good news. So we had 2 papers that were exciting. One about the transient UFO and new connection by Stephen Brewell and myself. And the second paper where we are searching for NHI artifacts by looking for things that look like solar reflections and satellites in pre-Sputnik images. And both these 2 papers have now passed peer review, and they are accepted for publication. In fact, they are published. So they got published on Monday. Now,
wow, so you have now 2 papers on UAPs published as peer-reviewed papers. In which journals?
So one is Scientific Report, and that belongs to the Nature journals. And the second is publications of the Astronomical Society of the Pacific, PASP, and it's a good astronomy journal.
This is momentous, Beatrice. I know how hard it is to get anything on UAPs past peer review. You've basically got an article which has survived the scrutiny of all of the peer review experts, essentially an article suggesting that there are artificial constructed objects that were reflective, specular, in Earth orbit before humans sent up objects into space.
Exactly. So it's fun. It's very exciting to have these.
Now, you were expecting to get shot down, weren't you? You were expecting quite an aggressive response from debunkers and peer reviewers. Was it a tough go to get through the peer review?
It was really tough for this paper with NHI artifacts, but the referee was constructive and curious, and I think that's the golden thing when you are talking to a curious person. They do propose good tests, and you can try and you can check. So it was difficult, challenging, but great. I enjoyed it.
Congratulations. I mean, it's very rare to get anything relating to UFOs, UAPs, unidentified objects into a peer-reviewed journal, especially journals as prestigious as the ones you're talking about. Let me do a quick summary. So the study that you did, you were looking at pre-satellite transient sky events, and you basically analysed nearly 300,000 short-lived transient events that were captured on red sensitive photographic plates from the first Palomar sky survey. And these exposures were all taken between 1948 and before humans put satellites up in the late 1950s. And each of these exposures lasted about 45, 50 minutes. And you focused on identifying cases where 3 or more transient points appeared along a straight line during the same exposure. And the reason why those lines matter is if a single flash appears on a sky plate, it could be a glitch, but multiple point-like lights perfectly aligned and visible in one long exposure photo, that hints at something coordinated, possibly spinning or reflective objects. And you can rule out natural sources like meteors, stars, and asteroids. They don't line up and appear simultaneously. You can rule out now plate defects because you were able to show, weren't you, as you told us previously, that when you go into the shadow of the sun, obviously it removes the reflectiveness. So clearly it's not a plate defect. And you basically, what the only plausible explanation is artificial reflections from flat, highly reflective surfaces in geosynchronous orbit.
So there we have it, folks. Beatrice Villarroel, she's managed to do it. She's managed to prove that there were objects in space before we even went up there, before we put anything up there. This is amazing news. This is massive stuff, because now people can speculate all they like and say, well, is it UFOs? Is it UFOs? Check the peer-reviewed paperwork. Check all the science behind it. The reason why it was passed was because these things couldn't possibly be comets, asteroids, any other anomalies that the cameras might pick up. This is amazing stuff. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please support what we're doing, which is trying to keep you guys in the loop with disclosure, accepting the public's evidence as real credible evidence. Get it into me, undercoveretuk@gmail.com. With that said, folks, hit the subscribe button, notification bells. Thank you so much for your time. Take care, all the best. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.